Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Quan. Good to see your beautiful face again. Now today we're going to talk about what does it actually mean to be yourself. To be your true authentic self. Now let's first talk about this really popular advice, right? Recall a time we have a presentation, a big presentation, maybe for a job, maybe for a class, project, whatever, or you have an interview, or you go on an important day. You ask your buddy advice, or your parents advice, and they be like, just be yourself. Hey, just be yourself, bro. Just be yourself, man. Just be yourself, son. You're like, man, what does it actually mean to be yourself? You see what I'm saying? Here's the truth. Most people would die not knowing who they are. They would go to the grave not knowing their authentic self. Isn't that sad? I don't want you to be one of them. So today we're gonna dive deep down to how you can discover your authentic self. First, why in this moment they tell you to be yourself? See, these are very important situations. So you tend to get nervous, right? And here's the crazy thing. In this situation, you most likely, there's a little voice in your head, and they say, man, crushing this interview, that's not me. Selling, that's not me. Giving out public speech to, hundreds or thousands of people, that's not me. Going up to a random person whom I'm attracted to and strike a conversation, that's not me. I'm not that type of person. See, whenever you say that, there's an opportunity cost. Okay, it stopped you from building that meaningful relationship with that person. It stopped you from making that big business deal happening for yourself and your family. So think about it. And that's why most people live a mediocre life. And they don't even know who they are. They're just followers. So let's get right into it, guys. The reason you said that's not you, okay, is because the idea of you, your self-image is derived from your ego. Okay, by default, the ego runs your life. Okay, from the time you're born to the time you're growing up, there's this thing called ego development. That's self-image that is in the building process. And where does the ego, where's the ego coming from? Well, if you think about it, the ego comes from your past. Because let's say if I snap my finger, and you forget everything from the past. And without the past, who are you? You're like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what my name is. You're not going to remember where you came from, what nationality you are. You see what I'm saying? So the ego is like almost like a memory card. Record all of these things that you learn about yourself, all of your experience, and to build your self-image. Whether you fail in the past or you success, it all become part of that self-image. And here's the crazy thing. Since it's built from the past, and in the future, here's what it's gonna do. Since the ego is a survival mechanism, it wanna make sure that the future is gonna be same as the past. Okay? That's how it's operate, past and future. You know why? Well, since whatever you've done in the past, you have survived, whether it's smoking crack or going to the gym a lot. Whatever you did, whether it's good or bad, you have survived. So the ego justify that it worked. Whatever you did, it worked. So it's going to continue to keep you in that comfort zone. Okay? It doesn't want you to branch out because, hey, if it works, let's just keep it that way. I don't care whether this is bad or not, whether you're eating junk food, or smoking a lot of weed, crack, whatever you into, okay? It's gonna make sure you do it in the future. So whenever you get into a new hobby or you get into a better environment, it's gonna say, that's not me. Going to the gym in the morning, that's not me. Meditate, that's not me. I'm not the type of person who meditate. You see what I'm saying? And it keep you in that bubble. And you got to think about the opportunity cost, right? This is why people get into the same toxic relationship again and again, because that's what they're familiar with. right? The ego builds that self-image and it becomes solid. That's why the older you grow, the harder it is to change, because that self-image becomes so concrete. This is why it's so hard to treat an old dog in new tricks, right? It's still possible if that person want to change. But I'm going to tell you the secret on how you can find your authentic self, okay? The key is being in the present moment. See, the ego is operate from the past, right? It's a record of the past, who you are, what nationalities, the car you drive, people you're with, and it just derive a sense of self from the past and all of the things around you, from the clothes you wear. Okay, this is why people want to get Gucci, LV, all of that, or nice cars, nice houses, so they can identify themselves with that. There's nothing wrong with having nice things, okay? But derive your sense of self from these things are not a healthy way to live, because you constantly stuck in the loop of acquiring more things, right? The ego is like a glitch. It needs to latch on things in order to derive the sense of self from, because at the very core it is a survival mechanism, and it want to obtain, it want to get as much things as it could, and as many people, relationship as it could, to make it feel secure, to ensure its survival, to maintain that self-identity. And that's why if somebody, drive a Mercedes, it's so hard for them to go back and drive a Honda, right? It's a threat to their ego. So with that being said, if you derive yourself from the materialistic things, if you attach your identity, and you do this very, very unconsciously, if you attach yourself from the things you have, the people you with, or the things that you do, okay, you will never find your authentic self. You will never know who you actually are, because who you actually are doesn't come from within, but it comes from without, right? So the secret is be present. Let go of the past, okay? Some people identify themselves as, Republican, Democrat, or American, or Ukrainian, whatever. Let go of that, okay? People are willing to die for an ideology. Think about it, because they attach their ego with that identity, with that ideology, and they're willing to kill the self. They're willing to kill their body, sacrifice their body for the sake of that ideology. And here's the crazy thing. Let's say that ideology is created by somebody else. It's not coming from you. For example, the Russians go to war with Ukraine, right? The soldiers. The soldiers are willing to sacrifice themselves to expand the border, which is also just a label. You know what I'm saying? It is an ideology, right? They're willing to kill themselves. That's how destructive the ego could be, okay? And the beautiful thing is, if you can let go of that ego, whatever you feel like you identify yourself with, or the things you have, let go, be aware of it, and then let go. And the secret is to meditate, okay? The word meditate means to get familiar with. What are you getting familiar with? You are getting familiar with your true self. And how you do it is you being aware of the ego. So let's say this. If you could hear my voice, you hear my beautiful voice, that makes me a speaker and you are a listener. That makes two of us, right? So if you hear a voice in your head, that makes two of you. The ego and your authentic self, which is your consciousness. It is what the Buddha called the no self. Okay, it's a vast emptiness. And as you start to lean into the emptiness, you are letting go of the ego and all of its attachments, because we are constantly changed. Okay, we're all energy at the very core, and energy constantly being recycled. The thing is that our ego is constantly trying to hold a self-image, That's why we have attachment to things, attachment to people. Especially if you live in relationship, it's so hard to let go of people, and it's so hard to lose things, right? And it's so hard to let go of certain ideology because the ego is so clingy to these things, and it will rather kill the body, the physical body, rather than let that ideology die or that thing go off. So with that being said, guys, I encourage you to meditate every single day and get familiar with yourself. And what crazy is that when you're in that present moment, okay, when you let go of the past, you're gonna experience ego death, and you feel like your ego, your self-image is being dissolved, and you feel a sense of peace, ease. Okay, that's the secret to enlightenment. That is your journey to enlightenment. So when you're truly present, since you're all energy, right? What you're gonna admit to this energy called alpha frequency. Okay, your brain waves, and scientists measure when you present, when you slow down your brain waves. Okay, by default it is beta frequency, which is very intense, nervous, tension, stressed out, to alpha, which is calm. It is tender aggression. Okay, so that means it is soft and also has some sort of intensity to it. Okay, check out this video about what does it actually mean to be an alpha. What does it actually mean to be in the alpha state of being? I made a really long video to describe it, but essentially here's a science when you are being your true authentic self. Okay, you are tender, aggressive. Okay, so you have this calmness within you, yet you're also playful. Okay, you have this tenderness in you, but then you also feel very forceful at the same times. It's almost like yin and yang almost, and you feel at ease, and you are totally fluid. And here's the beautiful thing, okay? Whenever you're nervous, okay, you're in the beta frequency, and the mid part of your brain, which in charge of communication, got shut down. So when you actually being present and slow down that frequency, you are in the alpha frequency. Okay, all parts of your brain integrated, and that's why you're in the flow state. Things just come out, and that's why you start to feel free and let go of the ego, and you're gonna start expressing yourself, and you're gonna start expressing your authentic self very, very freely. So with that being said, I love you. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I will hope to see you in the next video.